Greetings, everyone. For those who don't know me, I'm Dwayne, and I want to take a little bit of time here again today to show you how to make a very simple gnome hat. We're not going to go over making the body or anything right now, but we've got other tutorials on that. But this is going to be how to make just a simple gnome hat that looks really nice. Can be used on several different types of gnomes. Also, I like to make this one out of fleece. Most of my material I do is actually using felt, and it can be made out of felt too, but we're going to make this out of, I'm going to show you the felt and the fleece way of doing this. And I like the fleece just because it's more of a softer look to it. And this actually here, just to give you a quick idea too, is from a Dollar Tree scarf. I bought a men's fleece scarf from Dollar Tree, so just $1, and I'm going to get maybe 6, 7, 8 hats out of just this one scarf. So it's a real great deal there, and it is a soft fleece, and they do have so many different colors too. So this is one I got for the holidays, and I'm going to put a trim around it too. But just to show you, get you some ideas here, because we're going to work on the hat there, and I'm going to show you the trim there. The trim's a real easy trim too. To do that, and I'm using just a Hobby Lobby yarn, and I got so many different colors. We have a gray, I have a brown, green, white, all different types of yarns I can use for that. Also, I found too that they have a fur the moment, and this is a chocolate brown that just goes great too, that you can use that as a trim around your hat too. So again, Hobby Lobby has some great yarns there that you can use, that I find that I pick up and use on my gnomes. And like I said, Dollar Tree or any place else that has like fleece, you can get a ton of fleece patterns at your Joann's or Hobby Lobby. So there's a lot of different things you can do with that. But I like to do something just soft, simple to start out here with it to show you. And I'm using my basic gnome pattern. So anybody that knows how to make my gnomes, this also can be used on the sock patterns too. So you're making a hat that can be used on both of them there. And the hat is just a simple one piece. I have a little template I've already cut out and everything. I'm going to go ahead and just get a piece of felt here just to show you, just to give you an idea. And this is something that we can make either sewing or using just your glue gun. So we're going to see if we can put one together here real quick with a glue gun. But I'm just going to take my piece of felt, fold it over, put my template on there. So I have my side there. It's going to give me a little bit of room here. And I'm just going to cut that out. Cut simple around that. Now, I have found that I really like my hats this size. It's 5 3/4 in height. You can add to your height if you like, if you want it to be a longer one or a little bit shorter. Just change your dimensions there a little bit, and you can add to your height or shrink it. Doesn't matter, shrink it. I don't know if that's a real word or not. So my simple pattern, it's 5 3/4 at top. Across the middle here is 3 3/4. I got a little dip down here, so it's a simple pattern. I'll show you later too. And all I do again is just cut out right there around my fold. So I'm going to pull a piece of fleece down here that I've already cut out. And just to show you too, what I do when I'm putting it together, I will go about right where the nose is going to be. The nose is going to be right here on this hook here. And I'm going to start right about even with that. So I go across about that 3 3/4 inch, or I could go up just a little bit. And that's where I'm going to sew, is right up that edge there. Or using my hot glue gun, I'm just going to glue to that point there. So if I'm going to run my hot glue, I get quite a few people that are always asking me, is there some way I can do something that doesn't involve sewing? I don't have a sewing machine, or I don't sew. This is a quick and easy way to do it with the hot glue. Fold that right over. Stretch it out just a little bit there. So I have it glued down. Might need to add just a little touch there to the top there. And once it dries in there, I'm going to turn it inside out, just like the same way I would if I was doing sewing on it, making a seam. So I got my hat there, so I got it glued. And again, I like to, fleece is easy to work with too, to turn inside out. Sometimes the felt is a little stiffer. The fleece I can usually turn inside out pretty well, pretty easy and everything. I like the felt for the bodies. It is a little firmer there, a little stiffer to use, but I can use the fleece for the hats. Just push that out a little bit. So there, I already have my hat. Just as simple as that. As I said, I use my regular basic body. So I'm going to grab one that I already have made up here. I've got my body. I've already attached my beard and my arms to it. And then my hat. I'm just going to slip right over the top here. Actually, what I need to do is put some stuffing in there before I do that. So put a little stuffing in there. Grab some here. And again, I don't put big clumps in to start out with. I like to get all the way up to the top there. So I'm going to take little bits at a time, stuff it. And we'll just finish up getting it stuffed here. There we go. And now, since we know what goes on there, we're going to put our hat on there. And again, I started straight across, and the reason I do that is so I do have this split here, this nice little split here. So many people ask to see the backs. How are they done on the backs and everything? That's one of my pet peeves. I cannot stand. Really, when somebody asks to see a back, I want my back to be just as fresh and nice and clean looking as my fronts. So from here, all I'm going to do is actually take my trim, and I'll glue my trim on, and I'll usually start right at the seam there. So I'm starting at the back seam. Of course, I've glued the hat on first. I'm going to roll it up, glue it on, then roll up the front and glue that on. So once that's glued on, then I'm going to glue on just my trim. And like I said, this is a Hobby Lobby yarn, and you can use other yarns too. I've just found this has just been a nice, easy trim to use with my coats or my hats, so I can do with both. And I just line. Try to do in small sections too. Again, I'm not trying to do all of it at once. Keep it nice and neat. I don't want things to get glue all over. And just follow that edge around. A little bit more on here to show you. And then once I get that on there, got it all the way glued around, glue around to the back there. That's when I like to add the little extras, the little details to there. These are actually paper crafts, again, from Hobby Lobby, that I took different flowers, added them on there. For the holidays, you have all sorts of ribbons, bows, different things you can add to that. I'm going to actually add some greens to this, some holly berries to this, so we can actually get this out for the holidays. So there's a lot of different things that you can do from just this basic hat. Once you've got just that simple pattern cut out, you do that. Now, just before I go here, let me show you a little trick too. I want to show you a secret that I haven't told anyone before, or at least it's been a long, long time. Unless you've been somebody that's actually stalked me for a long time and you know a little bit about my tricks and what I do, I actually have another pattern that I use for my bodies that I like to use this hat with. And it's a bit smaller pattern that I use. You'll see a body that comes out smaller. Most of the time, people don't even know when I'm using this. If I'm doing something like a father and son, I use it. So if you've seen something where, like the bridge, where I had something along that line, or even the first ones where I did my spring petals, the spring fairy, that was done with a smaller body, actually. And the reason I bring that up is because I love to be able to use this. And I usually don't use this except if I'm doing for the craft mall or a craft fair. I like to have my standard size, but I like to be able to have something else available too. This hat, the exact same hat, I'm just putting a beard on that smaller body, and I put that exact same hat over top. And I got this real cute little gnome, and I just add a nose to it. Again, I can add a little flower or something on the hat here. And I have two different gnomes. Again, I can put the fringe around the side there. And the reason I mention this is for sales. Basically, I don't want somebody walking away from my booth without buying something. Sometimes they look at my larger gnomes and they think, well, I don't want to spend quite that much. Okay, I give them another option. I don't, when I'm doing something online or other sales, I stick with my same standard. But when I'm out like a craft mall, a craft fair, I'm able to give them another option, and I price this up a little bit. So if they don't want to go with the more expensive one, they'll go with the cheaper one. But it's not that much cheaper, just a little bit, just enough so I do get a sale and I'm making money on it. But the trick also works in the other way too. Because it's not much cheaper, people will go for the larger one. A lot of times people will say, I'll spend that extra $5, $6, $7 and get the bigger one for that. So it's a little trick that I do with my sales, just trying to give you a little help out there with not only just the gnome making, the hat making, but this is another little easy pattern that I do. And actually I do a number of other little gnomes with this pattern. But this hat will fit perfectly onto my smaller one there too. And again, you're able to decorate any way you want. And that's the great thing. When I look at other people's gnomes and everything, I'll give you the basics, but then you're the ones that excite me with what you do, with what the different ideas you come up with. This one I was playing with and gave him a little bit of an egg-shaped nose, something a little bit different. But the things that you guys come up with, the different embellishments and everything, that's what excites me to see and everything, that you're able to go and take the basics and do from there. So I look forward to seeing what you guys make. I hope this helps you out. Definitely be getting the patterns out here and everything for everybody. But these do. They make some quick, beautiful, easy hats to make for your gnomes. Again, you can glue them or sew them. So you have the option there of making something easy there and beautiful. Thank you.